I decided to start recording Neptunia V2 because this bit was getting annoying, but since I finally figured out how to do it,
Iba, return to the control room on the 3rd floor.
At once.
Date, pretty sure you're running out of time. But everything's coming to light. Shoko. The serial killer is Renju. And then Iris killed Renju. And then So killed Iris. And finally boss killed So. But who is the real perpetrator?
What the hell is going on?
And next up is Hitomi.
Date, what are you doing? 6 minutes are up!
Wait! Hitomi is...
Date, you can't go any longer! Force shutdown!
No!
I don't know if you noticed, Date, but boss is unconscious, so... Awaken, open the 4th door. Refrain, echoes of murder.
I took a look around your head, and I discovered something. Something about the new Cyclops serial killings. Apart from Ota, there are 4 victims. Shoko Nadami.
How the fuck did boss end up getting blood on her sleeve anyway? Was she shot or something? I mean, I know that they ended up shooting a firebomb at when to blow people away. This means to knock and capture boss.
Renju Oki, Iris Sagan, and So Sejima. Who was responsible for these murders? Shoko was stabbed by Renju with an ice pick. Renju was strangled to death by Iris. So cut open but who shot So? It was you. In other words, there wasn't just one. That's how it looks on the surface, but that's not the truth. There's only one person, and that person is...
Boss. It's you.
Yes. You, the person in front of me.
You're blaming the commander of Abyss for this?
No, not Boss. The person inside Boss's head.
Can you at least try to make sense?
Alright, I'll explain. You know about the abandoned chemical plant in Kawasaki? There's a prototype sync machine there. You use that device.
In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced.
Unknown? It's Puto who said that.
Mind, consciousness, memory, they are traded. Switched.
I don't know where it started, but at some point, you got into Shoko's brain. Then, you got into Renju's. And got rid of Shoko's body. After Renju was Iris. You strangled Renju using Iris. After that, into Zo. Who you used to kill Iris and Ota at the cold storage warehouse. Now, you're in Boss's body, inside her head.
I see. If you know that much, then I have nothing left to hide. Yes, I am the culprit behind the new Cyclops serial killings. I guess you can call me the new Cyclops killer.
Who the hell are you?
Saito. Saito Sajima. Congressman Sajima's son.
What?
I researched sites, but I cannot find any images of him on the internet.
Because
He
you
is
have his
listed on the
face.
family register.
He was inside Joe.
That was me.
He was inside Iris during the interrogation Sunday.
You imitate her well. From the way you talked and your body language, it was like the real Iris. Earlier, too, your imitation of Boss was...
Yes, there's a reason for that. Let me define some terms first. A person's memory and sense of self. Let's call that personality. It isn't quite the right word, but it'll suffice.
That's surprising how... Allegra Clark was able to pull off the change in tone that quick.
Now, transferring that personality into someone else's brain, let's call that parasitism. The one transferring is the parasite, the one being transferred into is the host. Are you with me so far? Moving on. Even after the personality exchange is complete, the host's memory isn't completely lost. About 1% remains in the brain. So, a parasite could use that 1% to imitate the language and behavior. The warehouse and Sunfish Pocket, by the way, thanks to Renju and Iris's remaining memories. I'm telling you, it was me. Why are you making me
Yep,
repeat
you can tell from
myself?
this.
That means the Somnium I entered on Sunday.
That's right. It was me.
How? How does he know about the original Cyclops killer? And something else was troubling me.
What's going on here?
Give me the details of each
Before
one.
I do, there's something else. How did you know about the prototype sync machine? And not only that, you also seem to know what the sync machine is truly capable of. Why is that?
That's...
Regaining your memories, are you? Human memory is fractal. If you retain even a single piece of it, it's possible to recreate the whole thing. Pieces of memories are like roots that grow into every core, gradually, slowly, taking its time. I imagine the same thing is happening in your brain right now.
A fractal is a figure with self-similarity. Allow me to explain. See this? Whichever fragment you cut, you will see a similar shape.
That looks like the fucking
The
Illuminati
whole is
symbol.
made up of its similar. This is called a fractal figure. Memories in the brain are similar. That is what he is explaining. He is claiming that from a few pieces, you can rebuild the...
I knew about the prototype from regaining my memory. Is that right? No, that's not it.
Parallel worlds exist.
Continue.
Fine.
Time.
You'll see. So, where do you want me to...
Just past midnight on Tuesday. Shoko was killed on Friday. If you think of that as day 1, today is day 5. What was Saito doing those days? I decided to ask him.
Like you guessed, my personality was in Shoko. That made calling Renju easy. I need to talk to you about something. He came over without question. I think it was around 4 p.m. I had him meet me at the chemical plant. I made Renju go to sleep. Synced. Switched personalities. And then stabbed Shoko's discarded body with an ice pick. I took Shoko to Bloom Park using the old abandoned subway line.
And clearly
Must
left.
have been around 8 p.m. by the time I was finished.
And since Mizuki had it, likely left.
I tied up Shoko. After that, I used Renju's phone to send a...
Trying to set her up.
Then, I just waited.
Day 2.
Until next Saturday evening, my personality was inside Renju.
Wait, until next? What the fuck?
My next target was Iris. I knew she would be suspicious if I asked her to come to Kawasaki, so I asked her to come to Sunfish Pocket first. I called her a little before 5 p.m., and she arrived just after 6. I greeted her, then convinced her to come with me. That's when Ota saw us. Anyway, I put her in the car, then headed to the chemical plant. On the way, I made her take a sleeping pill. I knew she might run once she saw where we were. It was around 7 p.m. when I got there, and after getting Iris's body, I used a rolled-up apron to strangle Renju to death. Then I put his body in an empty oil drum I'd prepared earlier. I put that in the trunk of the car, then headed to Sunfish Pocket. But then, something I didn't anticipate happened. Waiting for the signal in Akiba, someone knocked on the window. It was Ota. He asked me something about being able to drive. He was surprised, to say the least. But I couldn't risk him finding the oil drum in the trunk. Plus, if word got around that Renji's car was spotted driving around Akiba, that would foil my plans. So, I came up with a lie. I told him that I didn't have a license, so... That's what that thing referred to in Ota's Nile messages, by the way. And just like that, I managed to escape a bad situation and headed to Sunfish. The rest went exactly as you already figured out.
Well, Ota did. Bash me on the fucking head. Day 3, Sunday?
Sunday morning, I had a recording or some such thing scheduled. Oh, I am, of course, referring. I didn't want to draw suspicion, so I decided to attend, as planned. I went to Lemniscate and performed my job, and when I left, I ran into you, Date. To be honest, I was a little surprised. Just the previous night, I was a parasite in the body of Renju. I didn't think Ota had seen me. So, of course, I didn't expect to see you there so soon. You were on to me, but there was nothing I could do about that. If I ran, it would only increase your suspicion. So I decided to play my role. The interrogation began around 8:20 p.m., is that right? Then you synced into my mind. But you didn't get what you were looking for, did you? As a result, you had no choice but to release me. I didn't want to go home right away. I knew there might be police waiting for me. That would make it difficult to sneak out at night. So I asked you to take me to Marble. I tried to find... But then another unexpected event occurred. I got a Nile message from Ota. I knew I could use him. So I told him I needed his help and to meet me at Marble. He did as I... After that, I got into the van with Ota. Presence was unnecessary. I asked him to stop at a convenience store to buy me something to drink. When he was gone, I took his car and drove to my parents' house where I used to live. Yes, the Sejima residence. Of course, I knew I couldn't just walk up and ring the doorbell. Hello, Father, it's been a long time. I was also in Iris's body at the time. But I thought I could use that to my advantage. So I pushed on the intercom and sure enough, my dad invited me inside. I told him this: I want you to come with me. There's something I need to show you. He was quiet for a while, but eventually agreed. We arrived at the prototype sync machine around 11:50 p.m. By the time I was in the body of Sosajima, it was a new day.
Continue.
This was yesterday, early Monday morning, past midnight. In my new body, I drugged Iris, put her in the van, and drove to a new location. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. I arrived around 1, then prepared for the show for a couple hours. Of course, when I say show, I mean dismembering Iris. Because of the temperature in the warehouse, it took longer than I expected to prepare, but... well, you saw it in the video. Of course, I didn't anticipate Ota would show up. What does that make it? 3 times that... That annoyed me to no end, and I took that out on him. Dressing him up in the polar bear was an impromptu plan on my part. I didn't mean to make you think he was the killer. I just wanted to throw a wrench into the investigation. 30 a.m.
Day 4.
There isn't much to talk about on Monday. Before noon, I used my old man's body to call this one Boss. You might not know this, but the two shared a terrible secret. Hinting at that was enough to get the boss to come running to me immediately. I injected her with a sedative, then brought her body to the chemical plant. I synced with her, exchanged our bodies. And after blowing my father's brains out, I cut his body into pieces. I stuffed the meat into a vase I'd brought earlier, then drove back to my house.
Continue. Saito spoke with grace and no sign of remorse. I was trying to keep my anger from boiling over and kept asking questions. Why didn't the sync victims...
Ah, the prototype sync machine has a special feature.
Why didn't the sync victims resist after waking?
It administers a strong dose of sedatives to the original body, and a stimulant to the host after a sync. That kept them docile.
Why did you display the bodies?
To harass you.
Oh my god, he is serial killer. You can tell from the face that he's a psycho.
I wanted to bring out the hatred in you.
Serious?
That's why I called Mizuki to Bloom Park. That's why I streamed Iris's murder. Because they were important to you, weren't they? I wanted you to feel cornered, trapped. I wanted to punish you, Konami.
Why did you take out your
You
victim's
know
eyes?
all about the prototypes. That should explain it.
I knew. The prototype sync machine differed from the one at Abyss in a few key ways. The machine at Abyss is more sophisticated. Nano cables from the sync gear enter through the gap between the eyeball and socket, and then travel down the optic nerve canal to the brain. But the prototype sync machine isn't so advanced. To perform a sync, you need to remove the left... Oh, that's why he did it! You need to remove the left eye, manually. The subject and the syncer have to remove their eye from the socket. Otherwise, the cables cannot enter the brain. Of course, even with the eye removed, severing the connection to the brain isn't necessary. The extracted eyeball still has the optic nerve and blood vessels connected. After a sync, the eye is supposed to be replaced back in the socket. It's supposed to be safe. Side effects are rare. Unless nerve or blood vessels are damaged somehow, replacing the eyeball isn't too difficult.
Of course, I don't really care about eyes. I don't need them. All I cared about was exchanging bodies with the sync. And for that, I need...
Why didn't you just put the eyes back when you were done?
That's obvious. Once I was finished transferring into a new body, why would I bother replacing the eye? I was just going to get rid of it anyway.
Where are the eyeballs that you removed?
Shoko's is in Renju. Renju's is... Iris's is in Dad.
You fucking ingested the eyeballs?
Dad's is in... Their stomachs.
You sick bastard.
You read my mind, Daphne.
Yes, I ate them. Immediately after exchanging personalities.
How horrible.
What's your motive?
Homicide is my hobby. I have a tenacity for it. What can I say? Of course, it was also necessary to make sure people kept their mouths shut. If I took over someone's body, they would know about my crimes. I couldn't risk them reporting me, so I killed them. It was also a matter of revenge. It's personal. That's why I chose people close to you as targets. Well, except for my father, of course. That was personal to me, but don't ask. It's embarrassing.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. Revenge against me?
This series of murders was traveling through bodies to finally reach the end. That's the thing about traveling. You always wind up in the same place, don't you? Where do you think that is? Your home. A trip is only complete once you return home. The same goes for me. When I return home, my travels will come to an end. So I'll be needing it back. My body.
What?
Okay, this is an interesting turn of
You
events.
stole my body. You took it from me 6 years ago. That's why I want revenge.
What are you talking about?
You have no idea what it was like inside my own head. I miss it. I miss my brain, Date. No matter how many people I killed, it never worked. I never felt happy. I feel miserable.
You mean?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oh, that's right. My old body. How are you finding it, Date?
This body is yours.
That's what I've been telling you!
But I don't have the same oxytocin deficiency you did.
That is because I regularly supplement it. They must have increased your dosage too much.
No, but the person who had this disorder was number 89.
That is what I believed as well, but we must have misunderstood. Pewter did not specify who exactly was imprisoned, only that one of the original culprits responsible was currently in prison.
That's strange. That would mean number 89 is the previous chairman, Rohan.
That must be it. Rohan is a parasite inside number 89. Pewter must have known that.
No way.
I was confused. I didn't understand any of it.
Let us determine the specifics using Saito as whose brain was he in before Boss?
So Sejima.
And before So?
Iris. And before that, Renju. And before that, Shoko.
And before Shoko.
Whose body were you in before Shoko?
I was a parasite inside Rohan's brain 6 years ago until I'd lost most of my memories. They housed me in a special hospital. But I still had those fragments of my mind left, just as I explained earlier.
The
From
bloodlust.
a single piece, you can recreate the whole. I took my time, slowly regaining my memories. 1 year ago, I remembered everything. I left the hospital and immediately sought out Shoko Nadami. I got her body, and she was in Rohan's. When she saw herself in the mirror, she lost her mind. She was confused, panicking.
Go figure.
That's why Rohan committed.
Oh yeah, it's not like
After
I'm
that,
mafia
I spent a year
leader to just take the easy
perfecting
way
my
out.
plan. Using Shoko's body. I spied on you all this time. That's why I know everything.
Who were you before Rohan?
In there, in that body you are operating right now, in that skull, my personality lived there.
Wait, hold on. If what you're saying is true, what about my personality?
It was in Rohan.
I'm not Rohan!
Correct. It is just as he explained earlier. Number 89 was in Rohan's body. In other words,
That's my real...
Yep, that's who you truly are. Keep talking.
Sorry, but I want my body back. It's quite simple. Sync with me and stay inside my mind for more than 6 minutes.
And if I refuse?
I know it.
Huh?
Date, look! This is streaming live!
Damn you!
If you give me back my body, I will give you the location. Oh, and of course...
Iva, where's the...
it is being routed through numerous I cannot identify the source.
Computer! Contact headquarters, now!
Got it!
Now, will you agree to my...
I won't do it.
Dante, don't you care about what happened? Do you understand? A bomb. Or maybe... You want to see what will happen when her flesh bursts?
Ah, fine.
Dante!
See? I knew you wouldn't. I know you well.
All I was gonna get was dialogue from Saito. Police headquarters.
I did it. I did it. I'm back. I got it all back!
Hey, where's Hitomi?
All right. I'll tell you as promised. Boss's house. However, it might be too late by now.
What? Why?
Return my body and I'll tell you the location. That's what I said. I didn't lie. I kept my promise.
You bastard!
You're the one who injured that body.
I was gonna say that.
It's your own
Damn it.
fault, really.
Damn it.
Be seeing you.
Date, are
Iva's voice barely resonated. My eyesight was hazy, a heap of broken images. Sweat was building on my palms. It felt like my throat was closing up. I was struggling for breath. My ears rushing below my heartbeat was the only sound.
Everyone's dead.
Shoko, Renju, Iris, Ota, Hitomi. Boss. The flesh remains, the mind is lost.
I couldn't do anything. Saito had me right where he wanted me. Nothing. Nothing.
Parallel worlds exist.
The words suddenly echoed in my head. I couldn't remember who or where or why, but I thought that if there really was such a world, then me in that world, I is another.
Could I have had a better future?
I prayed that I could. I felt my consciousness sink into a black abyss. Annihilation route end. So that's why it's called the Annihilation, because near enough everyone's dead. Clever. Another one's coming up.